back to the day 30 of speaking English daily until I get fluent. So today we are being consistent for the 30 days and 30 days will be complete, right? And we are learning financial education and we have done 3 days now. That is the fourth day. So basically in the day 4 we will discuss about inflation and purchasing power, the silent thief of your money. I mean that is very important topic. Today's topic is very important. That is inflation and purchasing power, right? Hello everyone, welcome back to the day 4 of 30 day financial literacy live series. We have already learned how to budget, how to save, and how to build an emergency fund. But today we are talking about something invisible yet dangerous, something that affects every single rupee in your pocket every single year. That's called inflation. It's the reason why 100 rupees today would not buy the same thing 10 years later. I mean, you need to understand this one thing that people don't understand, that the value of the money will keep decreasing with the time. In the sense of, if you have 100 rupees right now, if the things that you can buy in that in those 100 rupees, you will not be able to buy those same thing after the 10 years, right? You have to pay more, maybe 120 or 130, whatever that will be, but you can't buy the same thing which you can buy right now in the 100 rupees 10 years later. That is damn sure, right? I'm damn sure about it. So basically that's called the inflation, right? And with the inflation comes another term, purchasing power, which is how much your money can actually buy. So today we will understand what inflation really means, how it works, and how to protect yourself from it so you can actually grow rich, not just on the paper but in reality. So what is inflation? The simple definition of the inflation. Inflation means the rise in the prices of goods and services over time. Simple definition of the inflation is whatever the rise in the goods or services, product or services over the time, that is called the inflation. To understand better what is inflation, for example, some time back you can buy petrol in the 75 rupees per liter, right? But after the 4 5 years, or I guess, yeah, one you will have to pay 120 rupees, right, for that. So that is called the inflation, right? The increase in the prices of the uh, like product or services, right, whatever that is. So when inflation happens, your money loses value. Example, let's say you could buy a burger for 50 rupees in 2050. Today that same burger cost you 120 rupees. That's inflation. It means 50 rupees in the 2050 had more power than the 50 rupees in 2025. Think about your childhood. Your parents used to say we used to get samosa for 2 rupees, and now the same samosa cost 15 rupees. That is called the inflation. So the same samosa that we eat right now is 10 rupees, right? But in our parents age, that was around, I guess, 5 rupees, or like something. Our parents used to told the story that there was a time when we are getting samosa in like 5 rupees, right? But now we are getting into 10 rupees. So the increase of the money that happened into the samosa, I'm taking the example of the samosa, but here could be anything, service or product. So that is called the inflation, right? So did the samosa become fancier? No, just the value of the money went down. So basically what happened, the value of the money went down. That's inflation in action, slowly and silently reducing your money worth. The thing that you need to understand is inflation is like a slow leak in your wallet. Imagine you have 10,000 rupees saved in your drawer. You don't spend it, just you keep it safe. But after 1 year, inflation rate rises by 6%. That means effectively the thing that cost 10,000 last year now costs 10,060 rupees. But your money is still 10,000 rupees. You have lost 600 worth of purchasing power without doing anything wrong. That's why people say if your money is not growing faster than inflation, you are actually getting poorer. So you need to understand that your aim should be the that you are keeping into the safe amount, or like in the basically saving account, make sure that is increasing above the inflation rate, because if it increasing less than inflation rate, so basically you are losing your purchasing power of the money. What causes inflation? Increased demand. So basically why this inflation happens? The first thing, increased demand. When more people want to buy something but supply is less, price goes up. For example, petrol. Lot of people want to buy, but supply is petrol very less, right? Comparatively, the want. So basically, the price increases of the petrol. The second, increased cost of production. When raw material, wages, or energy cost increases, companies raise prices. Third, governmental printing more money. When too much money in the circulation, each value drops. And the fourth region of the inflation, global events like wars, pandemics, or oil crisis, they reduce supply, increase cost. Now, the fifth thing is what is the purchasing power is? What is really mean that? Purchasing power is the ability of your money to buy goods and services. When inflation rate rises, purchasing power fails. If 100 rupees could buy 10 chocolates last year, and this year 100 rupees buy only 8 chocolate, your purchasing power decreased. So the goal of the financial literacy is not just to save money, it's to protect and increase your purchasing power over time. Types of the inflation. Let's understand the major ones simply. Creeping inflation. Normal, good for economy. Example, cost of the thing slowly increases each year. Walking inflation. And slightly harmful, rent or education fees rising too fast. Gulping inflation. Dangerous, reduces saving quickly. Example, some developing countries face this. Hyperinflation. Prices double in a weeks or months. Example, Zimbabwe, one loaf of bread cost millions of dollars. Okay. Inflation in India. In India, inflation generally stays around 4 to 6% per year. That means, on an average, price doubles roughly every 12-15 years. For example, that means कि if it is 4 to 6%, that means कि the prices become double in the every 10 to 12 years, right? So if you are keeping, oh damn, what happened to this phone? Okay, so if you are keeping 1 lakh in a saving account with the 3.5 interest, but inflation is 6%, you are actually losing 2.5% purchasing power every year. That is the thing which is I need to understand, and most of the like our like our basically people that I know need to understand that the putting money into the saving account is basically a very bad decision to make, unless until you are not saving it as a emergency fund, right? Don't like invest or put your money into the saving account and think that I am investing money. You are not, because you are losing the purchasing power every year. I mean, the saving account gives you just 3% of interest rate, but the inflation is 6%. So basically, you are like losing your money by 3%. So at least try to, if you want to like put money to save or something like invest, put somewhere where you get more than 6% interest, right? So inflation versus saving account. In the 2025 amount in the bank 10,000 rupees, right? And real value after 6% inflation. मतलब the okay 2026 10,305 rupees, 9,400 rupees. Okay, 2024 8,000. Okay, you may think money is increasing, but in real value it's going down. That's why rich people don't just save, they invest. How to beat inflation. Now the practical part, how to protect yourself. First, invest in assets that grow faster than inflation. For example, mutual fund which grows average 10 to 12%, stocks or index funds which grow like 10 to 15%, real estate which grow 8 to 10% every year, gold which is 6 to 8%, right? So these gives return higher than the inflation. Your money actually grows in a real value. So we can put basically our money into these 4-5 things. For example, mutual funds, stocks on index fund, real estate or gold. Basically that grows faster than the inflation rate. Okay. Now avoid keeping too much cash. Keep emergency funds, yes, but not all saving in your bank account. Learn about compounding. If your investments grow 10% a year while inflation is 6%, your real growth is 4% per year. Over time, that's massive. Real life example, Rohan versus Sagar. Let's take an example. For example, Rohan saves 10,000 rupees every year in a saving account by 3.5%, right? Basically, Rohan, what is doing? Rohan has heard somewhere that we should save money, right? So basically, he starts saving 10,000 rupees every year into the saving bank account, where he gets 3.5% of interest. Now, Sagar invests 10,000 rupees every year. At the same time, the Sagar, he invests 10,000 rupees every year in a mutual fund, where he gets 10% of return. So basically, Rohan is investing into the saving account, where he gets 3.5% interest. Sagar is investing 10,000 rupees in the mutual fund, where he is getting 10% interest. Okay. The Rohan saving account after the 20 years will be 2.03 lakh rupees. And Sagar, which was investing in the mutual fund, will have 6.36 lakh. That means there is a 4 lakh difference between the Rohan and the Sagar. Now adjust both for the inflation. Rohan real value becomes 1.03 lakh, Sagar's remains 3.24 lakh. The same 10,000 have two completely different futures because one understand inflation and the other ignored it. Inflation is inevitable, but you can prepare. Inflation is not an enemy, it's part of the system, but if you understand it early, you can make it work for you. How? By investing, increasing income and building assets that grow faster than the inflation. The power of early investing. Let's say you invest 1,000 rupees per month in the mutual fund from the age 20 with the 12% return. By the age 40, that's 9.8 lakh. By the age of 60, that's 96 lakh. Even after inflation, your wealth grows massively. So you start early because inflation never stops. Action steps for for us, right? So first, find out India's current inflation rate. What are the things that we need to do? First, we need to find out the current inflation rate of India. You need to find out also, right? And second, check your saving account interest rate. If it's lower than the inflation, you are losing your money. Learn about investment options like SIP, index fund, or gold ETFs. ETFs. Start small. Even 500 rupees per month matters. So inflation is like gravity. It pulls everyone down, but financial literacy gives you wings to rise above it. So today we have learned how inflation eats your money and how to fight back by investing and managing your purchasing power. Remember, saving is good, but growing your money is what keeps you ahead. Tomorrow we will go deeper into another topic, Investing 101, how to make your money work for you. That's one going to be exciting because we will finally talk about where to put your money to actually grow faster than the inflation. So that's all today. We basically learned about today is that actually I'm switch out of fan. Yeah. So we learned about today basically what is we deeply understand what is the inflation and purchasing power. So basically inflation is simple, the rises in the product or services over time, that is called the inflation. And purchasing power is basically your ability to buy the products or services in that money that you have, right? And third thing that we learned today is that why we should not keep our investing amount into the saving account, right? Because that gives you just 3% of 3.5% of interest rate, where the inflation is 6%. So we should try to invest in a way in something which gives you more than 6% return. So that's all for today. See you tomorrow. Bye.